So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. Today we are having a stellar winery that is a South African winery. And this is known as Moonlight Organic and Fair Trade Shiraz Merlot. It is a 2023. And wow, you can really smell the cassis and the terroir here. Some vanilla, and I do believe we're getting some maybe some differentiating tobacco. Usually it's very, very similar to me. This is about a medium tannic finish, very nice finish. It's got a smoky taste on top of the cassis and the berry. This is a very interesting wine. And I think this would go fabulous with just as something to go with cheese and charcuterie, but really any fatty cuts of beef, pork. You know, this would really be fabulous with a corned beef. It really would, right? Or if you go for that sort of thing, fish and chips, right? This would be also something really good for that. And for some reason, it's just kind of calling out to hush puppies and maybe or maybe it's maybe au gratin potatoes or maybe something along those lines. Very, very, very interesting. What a beautiful wine, really. The smoke on it is pretty intense. And it kind of adds a savory connection to the dry sweet. So very, very nice. And of course, organic, fair trade. Kind of hard to go wrong with that one. Feels like a 12 to 13, 14% alcohol. Guess I could look at the back. 13%. So really, and for those of you that care about that sort of thing, it's vegan friendly. So why not? This is going to be quite a wine experience for me. This bottle's not going to make it through the evening. Good thing I got two of them. The second one might not make it either, but it is what it is. My name is Christopher. I'm delighted you're here to help me solve this puzzle. We can only hope that we do. And today's dictionary.com word of the day is holus bolus. All at once. Together. All right? So it's an adverb. It's an interesting word. Maybe try to find a way to use it 3 times and it'll be yours. So, or at least that's what we're told. Let's hop into our grid and see what we've got. Okay, so we have an Adam Levav construction. I seem to recall he did one recently. That name's familiar. It seems like he did a co-construction. Can't remember with whom. But according to the crossword column, exploit over time, it says, Adam Levav blinds us with science in a neat Saturday debut. So, and that's by Caitlin Lovinger. This is going to be fantastic. I'm sure of it. So let's just hop on into it and see what we've got for the day. Okay, pop singer Reha, and I do believe this is Bibi. And a rum-soaked cake. It's always a baba. You know, I don't know that when I was eating sweets and stuff and all those things that I just recommended you have with this wine that I wouldn't actually probably eat. I don't do breadings or potatoes or anything or any sugar of any sort. Only those found naturally in liquor and wine. But I don't believe I ever had a baba cake when I was eating carbohydrates, which 7+ years ago is when I got off of them. That was a rough month, let me tell you. Okay, so times to look forward would be Eves. And leave quickly. What do you think? Are we going to bolt here? I think we're going to bolt. Let's just go ahead and bolt. Sauteing option with a high smoke point. And we are big believers in avocado oil, MCT, ghee, and of course, olive oil. Just love this stuff. Coconut oil is my favorite high smoke point oil. I've got a big bottle of it right next to the griddle out on the terrace, and just get it all over the griddle and go with that. Overshadow. Well, dealing with sevens, let's go with eclipse. And dictionaries have many of these. Abbreviation, we're going to go with pages. This is so frustrating. Okay. Poisonous plant rumored to have killed the Emperor Augustus. Oh, it's the beautiful woman. Bella donna. I do believe we're still using that stuff in optometry to dilate eyes. Starting to move would be a stir, so this must be an arr. This is so frustrating. I saw once somebody had put in the word gah, and it was G-A-H. I thought, yeah, how many times do we use that? Especially when we're in a situation when we don't want to follow through with the full, uncensored version. All 2 syllables of it, right? Which, I don't know. My kids could probably say the same thing of me that they said of the dad in Toy Story or Christmas Story. My father was, like an artist. He'd weave together, the finest of curse words. Like a tapestry. Was pretty good at that. Lots and lots. I'm gonna go. What do you think? Maybe bushels? Let's go with bushels. I heard you agree. Street rays are usually period coinciding with the growth of the internet. Sites of mutations on chromosomes. I guess we're looking at loci. Is this a T? Flummox could be to stomp. Could be. So I'm going to go with the .com. It was the boom, wasn't it? Let's see about that. Let's see what we've got. Denizens of the Great Victoria Desert. One could only assume we're talking about emus here and not dingoes that ate my baby. School that's home to the Mountaineers. That's right, I'll never forget when they joined the Big 12. Same year that TCU got back to it. My alma mater. And, West Virginia's been one of those teams ever since. Just kind of... You never know what kind of year you're going to have with them. Peeps at, who knows? Possible topic for a couples therapist, no idea. Let's go over and finish what we got started over here. So, playful in tone. Button next to a suggested contact, maybe. Okay, add. I've been known to do that. I don't hardly even get on Facebook. I only get on Facebook when there's notifications. Like I can maybe get tagged in something or something like that. And I might post something to Insta and then it'll automatically post over to Facebook. I just don't do it enough. And I don't know. I should work harder on that. Quarters could be room. So do we have arch up here? Playful in tone? We do. What a great use of the term. Wow. Possible indicator of construction ahead. I guess we're talking about an orange cone, maybe. Rishi Sunak was the first one to become a British Prime Minister. I think this was Hindu. Underappreciated. Unsung. Unused. Sprawled out, maybe lane. What one reads, watches, and listens to collectively. So maybe we're going for a media diet. That's been kind of making its way around in our collective lexicon lately. I think it's really interesting. Okay, so same here. As am I. Maybe. So maybe unsung? Wow. Enough could be ample. It's another one that we've seen an awful lot of lately. I mean, a lot of. Play the fool could be to act dumb. Can't even imagine that. Group that got Sweden its first Eurovision win. Oh, how can it not be ABBA, right? If that is true, if it all lines up, I'm going to have to see if that's on YouTube. I would love to see what they did. I mean, that had to be in the early 70s or somewhere around that time frame, right? Home and slang could be a crib. Word with hot or double could be a take. And so, give some immoral support perhaps. Nice, I bet. They separate hands and handlebars. Mustache wax. How about bike gloves? Why not? Can you imagine me in a mustache? I don't know what I would wear. Maybe something like Salvador Dali wore. I don't know. I wouldn't wear one. Smarts, maybe brain power. And peep set, maybe C's. Is this an E? Leans toward, maybe prefers. So, possible topic for a couples therapist. Sex life, maybe? I don't know. Uppermost limit could be the max. Get your blank first, and then you can distort them as much as you see fit. And those would be the facts. Samuel Clements. Blank. Tirechi, physician scientist who co-founded Bio and Tech, and that would be Oslem. It's a German. Government policy bigwig would be a czar. And when you're in it, you're in hot water. And clearly we're shooting for a jacuzzi here, but I guess our street racer usually is a sedan. I don't know, jacuzzi. When I've jumped into ours when it was unplugged for whatever reason, I've been in a cold jacuzzi. Just saying. Lawn recreation with a portmanteau name, and I think these are jarts. Something, I think that's a portmanteau of maybe javelins and darts. I don't know. We always called them lawn darts, right? And they were legal when I was a kid. And I don't think that was a very good idea back then. I don't know. I think they might have killed a lot of people. Beast of burden. How about a pack animal? I mean, I can't even imagine something like that coming down on my head, you know, when I was 5 years old, vigorously playing lawn darts with my family. That and tetherball and badminton. I mean, all the dorky things to be doing in the backyard at Oma and Oma's house, right? But that's what we did. So, well, as it happens, squash, as an example, go like, maybe gape? All right, billing line. What do we got up here? Chicken a la king. So billing line, I guess we could be looking at a balance do. Come on, come in, come in, come in, enter. I just haven't seen the line up. Come in, enter. I mean, I don't know, you know. Come in, enter. There's a little odd pair there, you know. I don't know. Actually, so squash as an example could be a game. Okay, got it. So, actually, which is what I was thinking just now. Things on rings. How about keys? If any of you is old enough, i.e. Gen X or older, to remember one day at a time, I suppose some 1980 born millennials, 81 born millennial folks would probably maybe remember One Day at a Time. Great song. Actually, it's in my playlist on Spotify. But yeah, it's Schneider was this dude. He was the soup, right? The superintendent. Here in Germany, we call him the Hausmeister. But yeah, he had all these keys, you know, he had keys to everything in that building. And it's like he always remarked on that, you know, yeah, you know, Miss Morano, you know, kind of a thing. They trust me here, even though I'm really doing more of a Cliff Clavin there. No, you know, Nami. But no, he had keys, and therefore he was trustworthy. It was kind of interesting. Exploit over time, maybe to milk. So Eye of the Storm could be the lull. Running, but not moving, I guess idle. Now, if I'm idle, I ain't doing nothing, right? Just binging probably one day at a time. Speaking of, I haven't watched a full season of Family Guy since season 17. I got a lot of catching up to do. I just gotta figure out where to get it. I'm thinking Hulu, but I don't know how far back they go. I'm feeling I'm about to start buying seasons. But I don't mind making Seth MacFarlane rich. He's a funny guy. Has only the best intentions, maybe means well. And germs of ideas could be kernels. Alternative to about a curtsy. Very nice. And pop flies, question mark. Got an SW, what do you think? You thinking a SWAT? I'm gonna pop flies and swat the flies, maybe? You can find out. If it doesn't line up, we'll go back and delete it to start all over again. That's what we'll do. Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, or Taiwan to an economist. And I think we have here an Asian tiger, which sounds really cool. Feature of many a handbag. Got a clasp. By the way, I got my cape in. It is so cool. In fact, I'm getting ready to add two toggle pieces of gold buttonry and a silver chain to clasp. That way, I got some mixed metals, right? You know, if that ever changes, get new buttons. But I cannot wait because we are so close to Cape weather here. Der Sommer is tot. The highs are going to be in the 60s from here on. It's not even August yet. August, it gets cool. Oh, it's done. Summer's gone. Der Herbst kommt. And der Herbst, which is the German word for fall, that's one serious dude. He brings like snow with him. You don't want to talk about the winter here. Whew. But it's beautiful. And when the Christmas markets come, oh my gosh, it is just like walking around Santa's North Pole, right? It's amazing. It's pretty cool. Good thing I'll have a cape. Vegan alternative to gelatin. I think we're going with agar. I'm not a vegan, but I mean, I don't know about agar. When I think of agar, I think of the stuff in Petri dishes. Yeah. Blank Institute, home to the Carl Sagan Center, and that would be the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Composer Sadie, I think that's Eric. And avenue for early learning in brief would be pre-K, NC2A, and plays dice with God, so to speak. Maybe tempts fate. Tempts. It doesn't look right for some reason. I'm typing that in there. Unspecified term in a sequence would be the nth. Goes around in a way. Oh, maybe they've lapped me. No, cool. Common guacamole ingredient. How about a lime? You put the lime in the coconut. Acceptances could be yeses, and casual hangout could be a session. Let's see. How do we do, Bob? Fantastico. So, yeah, I mean, this was certainly not going to be anywhere near an easy Saturday for the average solver. Certainly wasn't for me. It made me do a lot of thinking. There was a lot of stuff in here. It felt like yesterday's grid was slightly more serpentine, perhaps, maybe an ambition, abstruse compared to today's. But I think that it's, Shotzi's here. Yay! Yay, it's Shotzi. She made it in. Just at the end. She's like, I don't know, never late, sweetheart. You're always on time. I just was early. So I think it was some interesting stuff, though. We had loci in here, right? And the .com boom made me it made me think of the .gone era, right after the boom, right? When everything just kind of hit the fan. And so it brings back a lot of those memories from around the turn of this last century and the turn of this century, I should say. And with 9/11 and everything changing my life altogether. I mean, next thing you know, I go from, an artist making TV commercials and writing jingles, for all of your glass needs, big and small. I mean, that kind of crap, right? Whatever, just living the life, drinking the good scotch. The next thing you know, I'm in the Army. I mean, it was just, wow, just such a time. Just whatever. It just takes you back through that. And I was talking to Crosswordland the other day. We were texting back and forth, or using the comments to chat, and I think I said something along the lines like, I mean, it's crazy when these things are hard, and you got some words that you've never seen before. But I think every grid is amazing, and I think every one of them, from Mondays, the easiest, to the hardest days, you can still learn something from it. And even if that learning something is just a memory that you might not have taken off that shelf and opened up out of that box to take a look at, right? It's really interesting. But I just thought a lot of it was just great. There was no question about it. Some very interesting pieces here. The Asian tiger, not a common thing unless you're really big into listening to financial news. And of course, plays dice with God, so to speak, tempts fate. What just a fantastic clue answer combination there. The whole thing was beautiful. I got to tell you, Adam Levav, I don't know if this is your second or third or fourth grid, but it hasn't been very many. I don't feel like. I'll have to read the article after I get finished getting this uploading. But I can tell you this is a fabulous Saturday debut. So congratulations. Well done. Cin-Cin. Let's go ahead and bring down our Bannière d'Adieu. And we'll call this, we'll call it a Saturday. You can get on with your day or your evening, or go to bed now, or take a nap early, whatever. Maybe I depressed you. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I have. Again, this... Stellar Winery, Moonlight, Organic and Fair Trade Shiraz Merlot. You got to try this. The smokiness, right? It's got this smoky cassis that I've never experienced in a wine before in my life. I've had it in scotches. I've had it in various other treats, if you will, but never in a wine. And like I said, it just kind of draws a link between the sweet, dry wine that you're used to getting when you're thinking Merlot, Shiraz, or anything along these families, right? These families of dry reds. And it kind of connects that sweetness over to the savory. I think this would be fabulous with any number of foods, but boy, especially good aromatic cheeses. And if you like cheesy potatoes au gratin or something like that, this would be perfect for it. So, until we see you the next time, which will be tomorrow, for that ginormous grid that comes every Sunday. Sometimes hard, sometimes easy, sometimes just flat out a lot of work. We've had those, right? And so, but until we see you tomorrow, I just want to make sure it's very clear that I appreciate very much when you take the time to like when you like each of the uploads. It's really kind of you. I also appreciate it very much when you subscribe. We're always at about 50-50. Our subscribers are growing. We're around 7,500 subscribers, give or take at this point, which is wonderful. And it seems like it's always about 50% of the regular viewers are subscribed and the other 50% are not. So if you've got it in your heart to close the connection and, I don't know, maybe put a ring on this finger, we'll be all for it, right? Help us keep the lights on around here. That's all I'm asking. You can also use the super thanks to buy me a glass of wine, and I would appreciate that very much. Until we see you tomorrow for that ginormous grid, then, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Wir wünschen Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao. Cin-Cin, my best friend and soulmate behind me, that beautiful girl says, bye. We'll see you on tomorrow. Until then, be well, take care of strangers as best as you can, and just be safe. Cheers.